Hey y'all. Hi, here we are. Overhead filming setup, perfect for relaxing. This is going to be a long video. Ideal for winding down, ideal for falling asleep for a lot of you, I know. And I'm also really excited to get this task done. So today I'm going through the core of what has been my makeup collection for quite a long time. All of the makeup that I've chosen to keep for myself out of everything that I've tested and reviewed. I've kept it and I've stored it in my personal vanity, a lot of it for years. And I'm honestly hoping to declutter most of it today. And this is because in practice, I have become a makeup minimalist. So this is like the bag of all the makeup that I use right now, and we'll be going through this in a minute to kick off the video. Logistically, I much prefer now a smaller makeup bag that doesn't require a lot of decisions that need to be made on the fly. And aesthetically, I still love drama, like a strong lip, a very sparkly lid, a pop of color once in a while. But for years now, when I do my makeup, I've been balancing that drama with simplicity on the rest of the face. So most of this makeup collection that we're going to be taking a look at today, my old collection, is quite literally just gathering dust and taking up space. So we're going to look at the makeup from the 3 drawers of my vanity. One drawer is the eyeshadow and eye makeup drawer. Another group is like the complexion and blush drawer. And then the 3rd drawer is just lip products. So we're going to go through them one by one. I'm filming this as we completely rearrange our filming studio, and so the space is kind of a mess. A lot has fallen between the cracks. There's some PR that I'm like testing and haven't decided about yet that's just, in boxes scattered around. I'm not going to be showing you every piece of makeup in my possession today, but this is the essential core, the collection that I've been like hanging on to and considered to be my makeup for a couple of years at least now, and it's stuff that a lot of you will recognize if you've been following me for a long time. So we're just going to dig into this right now, and then maybe in a future video we can tackle what remains. Without further ado, let's get into the meat of the video. So this is the makeup bag that I've been using for a couple of weeks. I sort of selected the main things that I wanted to wear every day, and I weeded out things that I have been using a lot lately, but that I just wanted a break from. And I put them in this basket. So together, these 2 receptacles kind of represent the makeup that is the most in play right now, like the absolute cream of the crop for me, and the standard to which I will be holding everything else that I look at today. So let's take all of this out and see what it is. Okay, I will give you a quick tour. A lot of this was featured in a really detailed way in my Best of Beauty video at the end of last year. So I'll try to remember to link that video so you can watch it if you haven't seen it. You'll get close-up swatches of almost everything that's here and really detailed explanations of why it's my favorite makeup and why I wear it so much. This is what I've been using for complexion. So green color correctors. This Givenchy color corrector is actually an empty. I can't really get anything out of it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter that. I'm using this one from Tarte. It's a little too green for me, but I'm making it work. The Jillian Dempsey Mixturizer is a great primer. I like having it in my makeup bag. These are the Refi concealers, my favorites. Make Beauty just expanded the shade range of their Skin Mimetic concealer, which is like such good news for me. So I think this is now their pale neutral. Is that correct? Yeah. So this was formerly their palest shade, too dark for me and also quite peach. This is the new pale neutral, which is still kind of golden, you know, it's not olive at all, and it's not even as pale as it could be. But I love this formula. It's extraordinary, and it's exciting to have one that I can actually use. The Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint, my ride or die, as they used to say back in the day. And then powders. So, well, this is the NARS Under Eye Concealer, which I actually don't use that often. It's just in my makeup bag, and I've never put it in a place that it makes more sense for it to be. After I clear out my vanity, I'll probably put it in one of the drawers. I've been using this powder from Make Beauty, and this translucent powder from NARS, and this pigmented powder from NARS when I need powder. I've also been using this bronzer from What's Up Beauty to bronze up my neck a little bit when my neck is looking really, really pale compared to my face. And those are like the essentials for base, for skin. Brows, I have 3 extraordinary brow pencils that I've been lucky enough to use lately. The one from Make Beauty, the one from Billion Dollar Brows, and the one from Merit. I also have both the clear and the pigmented brow gels from Make Beauty. The pigmented one is a really great fiber building brow gel. The clear one, I find it a little wet. So I'm actually going to take this out of my bag, and maybe I'm being ruthless now. Maybe I'm just decluttering this now, because this is brand new, the Refi brow gel right here, and I much prefer this one. So I'm just going to hang on to that. And then I love this product from 1999. I actually use these as mostly as mascara, so I'm going to put them with the eye makeup. But that's brows. Who could ask for anything more? Let's talk about eye makeup. I often wear mascara, even when I'm not wearing much else. The one from Kulfi is my mascara of choice, and then I usually make it softer in color and a little bit more feathery with the taupe lash and brow mascara from 1999. You can see this one is not taupe anymore. It's because I've used it so many times on top of the black Kulfi mascara, and they've gotten all mixed together. I essentially use this 1999 taupe brow and lash as like a tool to comb through my lashes. But then it does add a little bit of taupe. It makes, lashes look really, really natural, and I love this. I think that there might have been an unopened one of these in the drawers when I was digging this stuff out. And if that's the case, I'll be really excited, because this one is used up. This is pretty much an empty. I'm going to declutter that right now. For eyeshadow, this is kind of excessive to have all of this in there because it's the Dior palette that I use far and away the most. Although for me, for my purposes, for my tastes, especially through the holiday season, the thing that this doesn't have is a super high voltage, wet look, like glitter glaze for the lids. And that's why most of this other stuff has also been in my makeup bag. So Fenty Diamond Balm offers that. This Urban Decay liquid eyeshadow offers that sort of wet look glaze. So awesome. This Armani eyeshadow doesn't exactly offer that. It's just sort of the liquid version of what I get from the Dior, but I reach for it a lot, sort of as an eye primer. And then of course, the Pat McGrath palettes, even I think this is Moonlit Seduction, right? It doesn't have any of the baked shades, but the ones that are here offer that sort of sparkly wet finish as well. So all of this other stuff is just for that. And then I've had this Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Jewel Liner in shade Night Flash. It's like a sparkly black. I've had that in my makeup bag through the holiday season as well because I've been doing slightly more dramatic eye looks. So I don't think all of these need to live in my makeup bag anymore, especially not the Pat McGrath palette, but I'm not going to declutter any of those. For blush and lip color, actually, it's been the Salt New York palettes. These are my quads. Why are all 4 of them here? Oh yeah, these are just highlight prototypes. That doesn't need to be there. It got mixed into the bag. So it's just these 3. These are the 3 quads that I created with Kiki from Salt New York. So those are all 12 of the colors. Obviously, the light quad is the most used, right? I use this for my cheeks almost every day in some capacity. A lot of the times it's just Nimue, which is the highlight, but I often add Old Gum, as you can see, my most used. For the lips, I think I still tend to choose Waxwing the most, but I also often use these 6 colors for my lips. I just love this type of color for the lips. Since I first got these prototypes in my hands, and it's been months, I have seriously never been tempted to reach for any other blush. And the more I use them, the less appealing super saturated bright blush becomes. So the Rhode blush in Sleepy Girl was my go-to blush in 2023. 2024 and most of 2025, like until these came out. And recently I decided to pick it up again and like try it on because I used to love it so much. And I was just like, what is this cherry pop candy strawberry garbage trash? Like, I can't handle it anymore now that I have what I've always truly wanted. So I'm not actually going to go ahead and declutter this because I feel like it's a useful touch point. It's the closest thing kind of to what I like that's on the market. I also really like the formula, but I am going to take this out of my makeup bag right now. And then otherwise for lips, the lip liner that I've fallen for completely, Liberica from Isamaya. You can see why this is the perfect companion to the lip colors in the Salt New York collection. So most days I line my lips with this and then I choose one of these to sort of finish it off, like put a gloss of color, not a very shiny gloss, but like a skin-like wash, watercolor wash of color on top of this over my lips. And that's it. That's what I have on my lips almost all of the time. Either that or one of the liquid balms, which I clearly love. I had to dig these out of like my purses. This is what I tend to take on the go with me for my lips. And then when I really want to bring the drama, I still really love this NARS lipstick. This is Bewitched. I don't think I've done a direct comparison. But yeah, as I suspected, this has a lot in common tonally with Canter, which is the deep, rich version of Waxwing, a purple undertoned shade, just, you know, in the NARS explicit lipstick formula in a bullet format. So I find this useful to take with me on the go. This I also dug out of a coat pocket. But this is the thing, especially when it comes to lips, it's like lips and cheeks. I know what I like. You know what I mean? After all of these years, I know what I like. I know what works the best with my style, with my complexion, with my personal vibe. And I'm getting to the point where it's like I feel pretty settled and comfortable in that. And I do like to push outside of that comfort zone for a single dramatic splash once in a while or an experiment once in a while. But I no longer feel like I need a huge variety of like blushes and lip colors to choose from. And I certainly don't need that when it comes to complexion because just like your skin is your skin and the products that make it look its best are right here. Eyeshadow and lip products, I mean, I think that there is still a bit of a magpie in me, like things that I'm going to want to keep and sort of have a sense of having collected just for their own sake. But I did this first because I wanted to remember what my makeup life is like in practice, in reality. And in practice, in reality, this is what it is like and has been like for months, if not years, essentially. And I really like it. I really like this, you know? So I don't want to keep a whole bunch of stuff and then just continue using only this or essentially this and have it be silly that I kept a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so we're starting with the first drawer, which is eyeshadow and eye products, like eye makeup in general. This is my collection of single eyeshadows. And you know, this used to be a huge collection. And over the years, I've whittled it down to just this small group that I haven't used in like years, it feels like. A couple of years, maybe. It's so beautiful still and actually feels kind of sentimental to me. Doesn't take up that much space. It's hard to think of just decluttering this, parting with this. I also don't want to be too hard on myself today. I think my first instinct looking at this is that I've come this far with my single shadows. I've whittled it down to this and it doesn't feel like easy to just be like, I never use these anymore, so I'm going to throw them away. Because it's hard also to like bequeath a thing like this, like heavily used, really old single eyeshadows, which only people who are like deep into makeup really use singles like this. So it would be hard for me to give this away to my cousin, for example, the way that I've given her lightly used eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to keep this for now and let it kind of be an example of what it feels like to keep something for sentimental reasons. Maybe I shouldn't have started with this, but also maybe by the time I get to the end of the declutter, I will see the light about this a little bit more clearly. Ugh, this is weird and harder than I thought. Ugh, I already feel like it's hard. Okay, I'll start with what I know that I can do. Well, let me just organize a little bit first. Okay, here down here we have some mascara. So there's the Kosas mascara, the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Burgundy mascara, which I really love. And I didn't like the Kosas mascara, but both of these are really old, right? Like I tested them, I used them. They're really old. I think this Push-Up Lashes is like over a year and a half old. So I shouldn't use these again. Right, so they're gonna go. This black eyeliner, it's like the Urban Decay Perversion. It's great, but I also haven't used it in a long time. And if I'm gonna use a black eyeliner, I'll just use the Victoria Beckham one that I've been using, the sparkly one, so that can go. The Kaja eye stamp, this is like for making a wing or stamping a wing. It's appealing to have a thing like that. Like when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do a wing, but I won't. I have done little wings on my eyes lately. I've really enjoyed it, but I've used a small brush, a little angled brush, and a little bit of eyeshadow and just done like a soft wing. I don't need like a tool like this. So that can go. Some eye primer from Urban Decay that's really old, that can go. It helps that a lot of these things are really old, so I can just make the decision knowing that they're essentially expired. This is liquid. This is another eyeliner. So once again, like liquid eyeliner, I'm just not using these days. Haven't in forever. If I wake up one morning in like July of this year, and I'm like, I really want a liquid eyeliner, I will just go get myself one. And I would rather clear out space and not be carrying all of this extra baggage and risk having to do that, because I think that the chances of that happening are quite slim. So again, I already have a black eyeliner that I like, which is the Victoria Beckham one, and I don't need a liquid, so those can go. This Swede Grayish eyeliner, I quite like the color of, but I find this really sticky. I don't actually like it, so that's also gonna go. Wow, fantastic. Let's zoom in a little to do single eyeshadows, okay? Oh wait, no, there are some other things in that same category. The Lancome Brown Mascara, again, it's great, but it's really old. Kind of starting over with mascara. Another eye primer that's probably really old. Like I haven't opened this drawer in a year. Another liquid eyeliner that I don't need. Another really old 1999 brow and lash. And then this is a very old mascara as well. So really just like clearing out the mascara. Let's zoom in and talk about singles. Okay, here's the thing. I love this format for eyeshadow. I feel like the Merit, or what was I talking about? I can't lose it now, we're right at the beginning. The Dior, right? The Dior palette is kind of just like a little light palette version of singles and in the colors that I really love. I feel like the Fenty Diamond Balm, having that around, these are kind of like that. Like this is the kind of makeup that it is practical to assume that I might really get into in the year and use. But I don't think that I need all of these. I'm going to be generous with myself with this category because again, I really love this category, but I don't think I need all of these. Let's do that thing where we open them up because it's so fun. Okay, these are just the creams and powders. I have one or two little liquid ones that I set aside, and we'll get to those in a second. What a feast for the eyes. This is so lovely. And it really makes me want to use these, like use the ones that I'm going to keep, put them back into rotation and use them. It's exciting. I also have this question for everybody. Where is the Chantecaille elephant? Is it going to turn up? Is it in one of the other drawers? Where is it? Because the giraffe, it's funny. I feel like having done the Salt New York collaboration and worked with color and just been so deep in it and been so satisfied by it has made me even more picky about color in other realms as well. Like the Chantecaille giraffe is looking really warm to me. It's looking like really red, even though it's not too red. The elephant is the one I love, and I'm really hoping that it'll turn up. Because if it was here, I think I would declutter the giraffe, but maybe that means I should just declutter the giraffe. You know what I'm saying? Okay, as beautiful as it is, I trust the elephant's gonna turn up. I think we can declutter the giraffe because I really am trying to whittle it down, y'all, to like an extremely manageable makeup bag and like maybe one one drawer, or I know what is what. Like I know what is there. And I just can't see myself using this. It's so copper, you know, it's very copper eye nude lip. I feel like I can't see myself using this when I have the Chantecaille Giraffe, if it'll ever turn up its taupe, or even just the Dior palette, right? As special as it is. We're being ruthless today. The Jillian Dempsey lid tint I love. This is like sheer with a tiny bit of sheen, and it's a balm. I actually forgot I had this, and I forgot how much I love it. So it like adds a little something to the lids without really adding anything. And it also feels like skincare on the lids. It's something I really like. That we're definitely keeping. This, are you kidding me? One of the best eyeshadows of last year, I feel. This is Sona from Kulfi. Sorry, I keep losing focus. I'm like overexcited, but this is stunning, right? And this is pretty new. That's the other thing. A lot of this is so old. Keeping those. Urban Decay Moon Dust Single Eyeshadow in Diamond Dog, also fairly new. This is like a perfect glimmery taupe for this sheet. Like this is my perfect eyeshadow. Right? This is so good. I'm gonna keep that. That's also pretty new to me and something I bought myself. The Auric Cream eyeshadows. I definitely am going to keep Defiance. Y'all, I think it might be time for Tom Ford Naked Bronze. It's not dried out. Well, it's kind of dried out. I said years ago in a declutter similar to this one that I just needed time with the Auric version for my affections to transfer. And I don't know, still when I look at Naked Bronze, which just for context is like my most used eyeshadow of all time and is discontinued, right? I feel so sentimental about it. I feel a rush of affection, but it's old, it's dried up, it's gross at this point to keep using it, and I'm ready to let it go. So definitely keeping Defiance because it's kind of like the replacement for that. If I remember correctly, the color is ever so slightly warmer, like a quarter of a shade warmer, but it still has that super moussey, blendable, dry down formula. It's still, you know, ideal in so many ways. And I kind of want to keep this one too, just looking at it. It's not as much in my, oh, but it does look kind of grungy. Kind of like a grungy rose. I could see myself getting into this. And I just love Auric so much. So I'm gonna keep both of those. Okay, VB Beauty Onyx. It's like, oh, look at it though. I just never use it. I never use it. It's like a wet dream. It's like a dream, but it's not practical and it does blend out to like a slightly blue shade. I think I'm ready to let this go because I've loved it for years and essentially never worn it except for YouTube videos. I really want the shade Mink and I might get that at some point. It will be easier for me to see what I have if I take this out of the picture. These Merit shades, oh my God, look at that. This is Nelson. I just love the color. I just love it on principle. I feel like I could fall into it. It's like a Pharaoh and Ball wall color, but it does blend out kind of purple. It's a beautiful color for its own sake, but it's not. No, it is kind of a smoky charcoal. I'm gonna hang on to this. So Brun here it has this little crack in it, but it's not dry, right? It's still creamy. It's just, I think as it sort of set and maybe lost a little bit of moisture, it's developed that crack, but they seal really well. This from the eyes with which I see now looks too warm for me. I'm gonna let that go. Wow, Salt New York collab changed everything. These two I'm definitely keeping, right? That's the same thing, right? Grungy, cool toned. This is that YSL shade, the Sequin Crush in 04, which if I remember correctly, the shade name is Explosive Brown. And yeah, it's a little bit gritty. This is exactly the kind of thing that I go for, you know? And this, the Patrick Ta, I know people really love these. When I look at this, I get a little tingle in my loins. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to use that. I want to use that again. This looks amazing to me. But the bottom one looks kind of copper to me right now. Whereas the top one, yeah, I'm gonna keep this, keep messing with it. I wish it was a little cooler toned, but that one on top right there, it's really giving me what I want. I could see myself making use of this, having this in my makeup bag instead of the Dior for a couple of weeks and really loving it for sure. And you know, this is a really much more manageable collection than what I had before. So we've got room, especially since this is the type of thing that I love the most. I don't feel like I'm being very ruthless though. I was kind of expecting it to be like everything must go. And now that I'm in it, I'm being a little bit more reasonable and a little bit more like my old makeup loving self. So I might revisit at the end and do like a final culling. For example, if I had the Chantecaille elephant, maybe I would have kept only it. Maybe it'll turn up. So these liquids, this Armani eye tint, this champagne color. I have this in like a bronze color that I like better, so I'm not going to keep that. And this Amicole amazing blue liquid eyeshadow, I'm not going to keep either. This is really special, but it's just not practical for me because I don't use this kind of thing often enough for it to make sense to keep. This glitter gel is really, really old, but it hasn't dried out yet. This is the kind of thing that when I look at it, I'm like, why am I keeping this? That's not me anymore. And then every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't throw out that glitter gel because I need it. Like for some sort of event or costume or festival, I'm always glad to have this. It's not even really makeup. It's just like something that I keep around and use sometimes. Okay, here's some eyeshadow palettes. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have only used that Dior palette now forever, like forever. I look at these and they're undeniably appealing, but I would really like to get most of them out of my life so that I was about to say so that I could focus on what's important. That's like a weird, I suddenly really went there, but that is kind of how I feel. It's just like dragging all this stuff around sort of psychically, even though it's not that much compared to how much I used to have. I'm really ready to let some of this go. So let's just go through. I can let these Rowan quads go. I'm not even gonna swatch them because I know they'll tempt me. They're so special. The formula is just so special. They're so cool. And I just don't use them anymore. And they're also really, really old. I'm not gonna miss them. That's the thing. This Pat McGrath Quint, I bought for myself holiday a couple of years ago. And again, I'm not gonna swatch it. It's really tempting. This like grungy cool tone. It's sort of like a cool toned copper. It's not even really that cool toned. This middle shade really gets me going. Love a black. It's like if I wanted to do the eye look that I could get with this, I would happily use the Dior palette, my singles. It's kind of redundant, you know? And again, I'm not gonna miss it. This NARS palette, I bought this for review a while back. It does look undeniably beautiful, but these browns, glossy but a little bit warm. It's trying to get me with its NARS deliciousness. Then in use, it's really nothing to write home about for me. So I'm gonna give this away. Wow, we're doing it, we're really doing it. But I also feel like I did kind of start with the ones that were gonna be easier for me. For some reason, this Charlotte Tilbury palette is really hard for me to part with. It's just so fancy feeling. I like that it has green in it, but clearly it is essentially unused, right? Like I accidentally dug my finger into that one time. I might have used or swatched this Dirty Olive Green. But as much as I love Dirty Olive Green, I don't really love it as eyeshadow. There's just no reason for me to keep this. And again, I won't miss it. I won't even remember that I had it. These are the hard ones for me. I want to keep the Naked palette. This is like the original Naked. For so many years, I was like not into the Naked formula because I felt that it was for people who wanted to do more watercolory eye looks and not for people who were serious about like grungy, rich, layered, dramatic, artistic eye makeup, which I was. That was how I was. So it wasn't right for me. Now I have become someone who prefers watercolory applications of eye makeup similar to what the Dior palette offers. This is the original Naked palette, right? Naked 1. And this was back before the detour into orange as like the core shade in eyeshadow in, you know, the mid 2010s. So it was back when things were much more truly neutral. And when they sent this to me, when it got briefly re-released, I was like, it's perfect. Look how shiny Sidecar is. It's like they did it right the first time, y'all. It's so great. And I like, look at Hustle right here. That I think I'm going to keep this and keep playing with it. It's such a funny thing to sort of make it through this declutter. But the couple of times I worked with it, played with it, I was like, wow, this is it. This is the one. Like, let me just show you. This is the micellar water soaked paper towel that I have had on the, like just out of frame that I've been like wiping my fingers off on. So this right here was where I had that swatched that Charlotte Tilbury palette, was those two. So you can see, and this is where I had swatched the Naked palette, and that as well as from the Naked palette. So you see the Charlotte Tilbury, this is much more of a rose, like a warm toned rose gold, and Sidecar is super neutral by comparison. And here the Charlotte Violet Tilbury is much more like a green, where that kind of grungy olive brown is much more neutral by comparison. And it's just like the Naked palette just nails it. It's so funny. Natasha Denona Glam palette. So I got this for review a while back, and then I just forgot that it existed, and it's back there theoretically having like the cool tone shades that I would want. I never use it. I never bonded with it. And it's kind of big for me right now, physically, given where my makeup collection is going, like the direction in which it's going. I'm not gonna miss it. The Gucci palette. So this is just pure like collector's item goofiness. It's not really about whether I'll use it. I could see myself using it once in a while, especially this shade down here in the bottom right-hand corner. The colors are lovely, actually. And also they have that watercolory quality that the Dior palette has, right? So I could see myself continuing to use it. It's more about the memories and the aesthetic and just the iconography of it all. When I had a bunch of eyeshadow palettes all vying for space, it felt really weird and extra to keep this one because it was just like on top of everything else that I'm not using this Gucci palette. You know what I mean? But right now, when we're down to, what are we down to? 3? These two and the Dior palette, and then my singles right here. It doesn't feel wrong to keep it anymore. And I do think that I would miss the idea of it. So I am going to keep it. Let's check in about the singles. How are we feeling? I actually feel at this moment much more capable of letting go of this palette of singles now. I feel like I'm not going to use it anymore. When I look at it, I think, well, what would I want from it? I would want to use some of these grungy single bronze eyeshadows, but I would use Diamond Dog from Urban Decay. Diamond Dog is the perfect version of any of these for me, right? It's like it offers exactly what I want and what I'm seeking with so many of these shades. And then when it comes to these really shiny high voltage ones, oh, you know what? My Pat McGrath palettes aren't here. I don't know. I showed you this one already, right? So we're not down to just 3. We're down to 5 because there's this, and I also have the other Mothership with the green in it. Where is that? That's kind of weird. But I'm going to keep both the Pat McGrath palettes because I constantly reach for them for these really shiny, sparkly shades. I constantly reach for them, and I really, really love them. So I have no qualms about that. But again, it's like those are in play in a way that these are not. They are memorable in a way to me now that these are not. And I actually think I wouldn't miss it. Right? I actually think that if I got rid of this, I would not be like, oh, I wish I had my small collection of single eyeshadows back, because it's just not the way that I'm interacting with makeup right now. I'm not going to be hasty though. Like the other things that I'm decluttering, I'm going to either throw them away if they're really old or give them away to friends and family after this. But this, I'm not going to do that right away. I'm kind of putting it in purgatory for myself, but with an eye towards eventually letting it go, because I think that is the right move. Okay, here's all the decluttered stuff so far. And here's what remains of the eye makeup drawer. Although, of course, the Dior palette and then my other Pat McGrath palette, I'm not sure where it is. And, you know, the mascara and eyeliner that I had in my makeup bag are all in this category. But other than that, this is what remains. However, I fear we started with the easy one. I have to zoom out to get this all in. We started with the easy one, my friends. This is the middle drawer. So this is cheeks, complexion. Gosh, I just feel like this is the place I'm going to be the most ruthless, because nothing holds a candle to the Salt New York collection. Like nothing holds a candle to those products. It's hard to imagine. I mean, there are probably a couple things in here, but it's hard to imagine wanting to wear other blush now. And I also feel really happy with my complexion product. Let's just dig in. The Gucci bronzer. I forgot that I had this and how perfect it is. Wow, that's very exciting. I do have some things here that I really love. It's actually good to dig into this stuff and remember. That's part of why I'm doing this. When I looked at the big pile of them, I was like, there's nothing here for me. I have nothing to wear. You know what I mean? It's like looking in your closet and being like, I have nothing to wear. And then you go through one by one and you're like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. But at the same time, there's plenty that can go. So I tried to separate out into categories. And let's start with this. There are some brow products in here. I thought that all of my usable brow products were like in my makeup bag right now, but not so. So this is the Kjaer Weis brow tint, I think, that I'm not really familiar with this. So I'm going to keep testing this. This is a Typology fortifying brow, like fiber building brow gel, which is fantastic, but this is really old. So this can go. And this is the Refi brow pomade, right? Like the one, and I've never gotten into this. That can go. But this one, the Kjaer Weis, I think I might put this in my makeup bag and start using it every day. And this is the backup that I had of the taupe 1999. This is like the brand new 1999. So I'm actually going to replace the one that is starting to get super old in my makeup bag with this as well. I'm putting these both straight into my makeup bag. Oh, and this is the Merit Clear brow gel, but I think this is pretty old too, and I just haven't been using it. So I'm going to declutter that. And then this is the soap that I used to use for soap brows. Do you remember this back in the day? So wonderful. I don't do soap brows anymore. And you know, this has gotten quite old. It's still so beautiful. I'm probably going to keep this and, well, maybe I'll just use it up as soap, like use the soap up. I bet my toddler would really like this little box. So maybe I'll give that little box to him. We'll see. But I'm not going to keep this among my makeup anymore. Other weird things to get out of the way. This is the Gucci face gloss. The Gucci face gloss, which when I tested it, I remember kind of liking it. I'm such a sucker for Gucci makeup, but I kind of want to give this another chance. I'm actually going to put this in my makeup bag and see if I start getting along with it. Oh, and this is the Cali Ray mascara, which is a really, really good mascara. I love this. And this is also just way, way past its prime. It's super old and used up. So this can go. Anything else? It's in the wrong place. I think that's it. So we have complexion over here, meaning like base products. These are luminizers of one kind or another. These are all blushes down here. And this is a face palette. And these are bronzers. Let's start with the face palette, a category with which I have historically struggled because it's like hard to remember that everything's in there, kind of. I did really love this one though. It's from Rouge and I love the packaging. It's so good. But I can happily let this go, especially given, like, look at these blushes and think about, maybe I should bring my salt palette up here just to keep myself in check. I feel like for so long for me in makeup, it's that meme, like, this is what I ordered and this is what I got. You know what I mean? Like a blush will look like this online and then you'll order it and it'll turn out to be that color. You know, I don't need this anymore. The colors were never good for me anyway. I just liked those highlights, but it can go. All right, where to start? I'm going to start with the easy for me, which is the bronzers right now. So the Gucci bronzer, this is great. I got this to review. I loved it. I loved bronzing my whole face with it. I loved bronzing my neck with it. I will gladly replace the What's Up Beauty powder I've been using with this. I just didn't remember that I had it. But I'm going to put this actually right into my makeup bag and start incorporating it. It had just gotten lost in the fray, but what a beaut. This Sarah Creel bronzer, I clearly never even tested, and it does look beautiful. It almost looks a little bit olive toned and it's a cream. Oh no, now it's looking a little orange. Here's the thing, friends of mine. Here we have my sort of like rosy milk chocolate, essentially the perfect bronzer, which is Teasel. Look how orange this looks. It's a bronzer. It's supposed to be neutral. It is looking like a creamsicle. It is looking like an orange creamsicle by comparison. I just don't think the formula feels beautiful. And I've been really impressed by Sarah Creel makeup so far. I just don't think I'm going to get into this when I have this. I'm going to declutter that. I believe I did. Clearly, I played with this. I might even have tested it on camera. I can't remember. This Sarah Creel cream highlight. It looks really pretty. But not only can it not hold a candle to Nimue, the one that I designed, which is really natural to my skin, but also taupe instead of being peach. Not only that, but I know there are some liquid luminizers here that I'm going to keep. So I'm also going to declutter that. It has been really hard to get rid of this Farrah Homidi compact because it's so beautiful, but I also never use it, right? I really, really don't. I just don't. I won't miss it when it's gone. I'm going to let go of this. I got this for review and then it's so luxe that it's been hard to let it go, but I'm I'm gonna let it go and I won't look back and it'll be fine. But that reminds me to say that I have another complexion product I've been using a lot is the Salt New York Sneaky Balm in N13. I have it in the single compact, the bamboo single compact from Salt, and I can't find it. I think I put it in a purse or something to take it with me when I went out. I couldn't find it before this video, but that's another thing that's like been in my makeup bag and been around a lot. It's like the Salt New York version of this, and I'm just 1,000 times more likely to use it than I am to use this. The Ciel Bronze and Protect Bronzing Drops. I actually think I might never have tested these. Wow, the color looks really nice. Oh, ooh. I'm gonna keep this around. It has that like murky quality. I could see like rubbing a little bit of this into my neck. I'm gonna keep this around, but as something I'm testing and not as something that's like a member of my makeup community. So I'm actually gonna put this, I have like a tester box, like a box of things to test on camera. I think that's where this should be. So I'm gonna put it there. Can you tell I'm not ready to tackle the blushes yet? Let's talk about the luminizers, although I think this is going to be kind of tough as well because so many of these I've loved so much. And I must say, like, the Salt New York highlight is perfect. It's like the perfect highlight. And I can't tell you how many messages I have recently been getting on Instagram from people saying literally that they are in the grip, the vice grip of Nimue, which is this highlight right here. So many people have just DM'd me about this and been like, it's perfect in every way. And I agree, it's perfect in every way. So it's hard to imagine keeping many of these when I now have that. But I am gonna keep this little Auric Glow Lust because I just love Glow Lust. And it does something that Nimue doesn't do, which is that it sets down completely. It becomes essentially like a dry layer all over the face as an underpainting. Nimue, it's not tacky. It doesn't stay like Vaseline-y on the cheeks in a way that interferes with your day, but it's not like a mix-in or an underlayer or like an all over the face luminizer the way that Glow Lust is. So I'm definitely gonna keep that. I can let go of this Beauty Pie Triple Luminizing Wand. I think I tested this and liked it and kept it around, but not really using it. I really love these Surratt products, but I think I can let go of Le May, which is the more liquid sheer one. It's kind of more sparkly, but I think I'm gonna keep Diamante, which is like the cream. I've really gone through phases of, although, do I really need this if I have Nimue? No, not really. It's essentially, yeah, no, Nimue it does what this does, but it's better, I feel. It's so interesting, like picking this back up again, which I liked it so much. And now I'm like, oh, actually, it's not really serving anymore compared to what I have. It's really interesting. That surprised me a lot. Same thing with Merit Kava. This is a lovely product, but it's a little bit slicker. It's got that sort of wet oil quality. It's like it sort of weeps oil a little bit, which is something that I was really insistent that we not have with the formula of the salt highlighters. So I vastly prefer the cream in the pan. I'm going to keep the Ciel one though, because it has this like bright yellow white. It's really different, right, from Nimue. And the Reflect is like, it has this like white quality that's really different. And I remember really liking this with certain makeup looks, especially on camera. So this gives me something different. It's like going for something different than what I was going for. So it makes sense to keep that. And then this is, again, like, I don't think I ever, yeah, look, I never even tested this. But I can tell you right now that this is a RMS Living Luminizer in Crystal Slipper. It's pinker and peacher than the highlight I designed, and I can already tell you that I'm not gonna like it as much. So I'm just gonna give that away untouched. Wow. Okay, riding high on the success of my highlight declutter just now, I think I can tackle blush. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Okay. Oh my goodness. Jillian Dempsey Cheek Tint. Again, I put this in here, came in PR, put it in here to test on camera, and I haven't done that, and I haven't used it. And again, there's just no way it's gonna hold a candle to these because it's so much pinker. So I'm gonna give that away. Interesting. So this is Toasted Teddy from Rhode. I never really bonded with it. It's so deep. I'll zoom you in a little. It is a deep, rich color, which is super beautiful, but it's got a lot of red in it. Like it's really, really reddy pink. It has red oxide. It must have like a ton of red oxide, which is the color ingredient that made the blushes turn really, really red that we ended up leaving out of the salt formulation so that they would stay neutral. So I hung on to the other one for old time's sake, but I'm not going to keep Toasted Teddy from Rhode. For a long time, this Chantecaille Cheek Gelée was my go-to watercolory cheek. It's bright pink. This is the shade Happy, but it blends out so barely there that it would like end up looking fairly natural on me. This is also really old. That might be why it's doing this weird separating thing. In any case, I don't need this anymore. And when it smells weird, yeah, we're done with that. Gross. Sometimes in this profession, it's hard to keep a handle on how old makeup is. And now it's interesting. I have this like way of remembering if I had something before my child was born, then I know that it's over 2 years old because my child is now over 2 years old. And I know that I had that for like a year or two before my child was born. So it's like 4 years old. Of course, it's gone bad. And I believe that this came to me around the same time. It's a powder, so it won't be going bad as quickly, but I also don't really use it. You can see why I liked it when you look at it, you know, compared to these. It has a nice sheen, but it's been out of my life in practice for a long time, so I might as well move it through. Okay, these Kjaer Weis metal compacts, and this one, which contains a probably expired blush at this point, I'm ready to let them go. However, this is almost totally brand new, and these are really lovely. Kjaer Weis makes a beautiful cream blush. Not quite to my taste, as you can tell, shade-wise, right? They're not neutral. This is nice because it's so sort of pastel-y pale, right? It has that milky undertone. It's really pretty. They're nice and sticky, but you know, it blends out to a bit of like a watermelon on me. I think I really like this. I like this blush formula. I like this little compact. I think I'll be able to give this away to someone who will really love it. Probably my cousin. The Refi blush in Rose clearly can go. I mean, this is lovely again, or it was lovely in the before times, but it clearly can go. Same with Barbe a Papa, this Surratt blush, which is like a bright pink. Same with NARS Aragorn. This is a great formula, but oh, look at that though. If I ever wanted sort of a stained watercolor, I might keep this. Because again, it's aiming at something. Its goals are very different from the goals of anything in the Salt New York collab. I might just keep that. I want to have a little variety, and I could see myself getting like come on, that's something else. That is something. The rustiness of it all. This, I wish I wanted to keep. It's so satisfyingly chunky, but we all know how this went. I mean, I did film exploring the new Isamea release, the Sephora collection. It's a little bit rusty, but it's mostly just carmine. And I'm just not wearing a carmine blush these days. And this sort of golden highlighting balm is basically Vaseline. I have not really used this just to review, so you know, I can definitely find someone who wants it. Westman Atelier Garçon. Historically, one of the few blushes that felt like it was getting close to what I was trying to get close to. Let's look at it next to probably its closest, which is Waxwing. So you can see it's so much pinker, right? It's so much pinker than Waxwing, which is truly neutral. I might hang on to this just again to like have a little bit of variety. It does still have some of that taupe. Of all the Westman Atelier blushes, it's the only one that I would consider wearing, and I love the formula. So I'm gonna hang on to that for now. We'll see how we're doing once we get to the end. Okay, let's talk about the Phytosurgence blushes. A formula that I love, colors that I love. Why do I have 2 condensates? Must have sent me a new one recently. But yeah, that must be my very old condensate. So there's condensate and there's Waxwing. You can see condensate is pinker, you know what I mean? Just like everything is essentially. But once again, it's as close as I was able to come before. It's like in a similar vein, and it's such a great formula, right? And I also think it's like a good touch point. It's like a good thing for me to have around. And I wouldn't know who I was anymore without some Phytosurgence blush in my life. It's like so special and wonderful. I feel like when I do want a super strong, creamy cheek, these can kind of give me what I'm after because they're so satisfying to apply. So I'm going to go ahead and keep Steam and Condensate. These ones are a lot older, Fume and Inferno. I love the colors, but I just know they're from, I think they might even be from my original review of Phytosurgence, which is like 6 years ago. That is wild. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter those and just keep Condensate and Steam. And I think I might keep Dust around as well, which is like the gray mix-in, because that's incredibly useful. Okay, the Merit blushes. I really like this formula. I've really enjoyed some of these colors, but I just haven't reached for a single one since having these salt blushes. And wow, Fox, the one I used to love, like Persimmon, they're just so bright for me now. I might keep Fox because again, it's like the appeal is that it's doing something different. I feel like Bespoke and Beverly Hills here are kind of giving like a similar effect to what I get with my Salt New York collab, but just not doing it as well. Whereas Fox is doing something a bit more, if I wanted like an editorial cheek outside of the realm of what I usually want, Fox or NARS Aragorn would give that to me. So I'm going to hang on to that one. And it's a mini, so it doesn't take too much space. All right, we did it. Now, these complexion products. I really like these skin tints. I feel a little bit strung out. This might be the moment, we might be approaching the moment at which I quit for the day and continue tomorrow, because like it's decision fatigue and this is so intense, y'all. It's like decluttering so much stuff is so intense. I feel, I'll do what I can with this collection, okay? So the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation, amazing. Like white base that helps to neutralize red, that helps to sort of even out the complexion. But this is really old. This is from our old house. This is definitely from well before my kid was born. And I haven't used it in a year or two. Like I just am not going to keep that. But I could see myself getting it again in the future, potentially. I think it's really great. It's just, I don't need to hang on to that. These skin tints, I was using them a lot in the summer, I feel, but it's just the Lisa Eldridge has like eclipsed them all because of that olive tint and the Salt New York Sneaky Balm. I just feel like, why would I reach for one of these when I have the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint and the Salt New York Sneaky Balm, which together, they're so beautiful and they're such a good match for my skin. And these bottles take up so much space and I really am trying to simplify. I do like both of these though. Just as a reviewer, I will tell you, these are two really good skin tints and I've struggled to find skin tint that I like. I think if you've been considering these, if this is the kind of thing you like, just know that it's tough for me to part with these and I'm only doing it because of my mission and also because of my knowledge of my own behavior recently. It's like I just use the same things over and over again and I will continue to do that, at least for this foreseeable future. So for that reason, I'm okay letting these go. I forgot I even had them. That's the thing. Holding them in my hands here, I'm like, oh yeah, these are great, but I forgot I even had them. This I tested once. I was amazed by the finish. It was like so glossy and beautiful and pretty pale. And then it was kind of a goopy mess and I was just like never going to try making it work again. I just am not even going to keep trying with that. Oh yeah, I remember being really impressed by the Colfi. So there's some things in here that it was like I tested them, I was relatively impressed and I was like, oh, I'm going to keep testing that. And then I never did. I remember being really impressed by the finish of this. Oh, yeah, it's very like pore smoothing. Do I want variety in my concealers? Oh, these Natasha Denona concealers were so useful to me, but they're so old. They're going to go. The skin looks so good on camera with them, but I'm going to get them out of my life. Ilia Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. I remember liking this and then again, never getting as much of a chance to play with it as I would have liked. It's really creamy. It's quite pale. I'm gonna give that a chance. I would like to continue trying that, maybe. I don't think I need to keep this Armani concealer. This is the thing. These are all good products that are just second string to the ones that I've been using that I just haven't fully bonded with, haven't really come out on top. And I feel a little bit stymied about like whether or not I should keep them and keep trying. The Ciel concealer I remember was really moussey and bright and very full coverage. Yeah, I don't see myself reincorporating that. I remember it was kind of a lot on my skin, a lot of makeup. The Exa Green Color Corrector, I didn't remember that I had this. I guess I replaced it. I thought I had it and then I had run out. I guess I replaced it at some point and I didn't use it up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back into my makeup bag and keep using it because I like this a lot better than the one from Tarte that I've been using. And I think I kind of want to hang on to the Merit complexion sticks as well. I tend to mix chiffon and ceramic. So here's the thing. This is what's left. And the freckle pen, little tiny freckle pen. We'll keep it. We'll keep her. So this essentially, these sticks represent a category of complexion product that I really love, which is like a balm, except that the Sneaky Balm is in a pan and these are in like a stick formation. And these two are a little dark for me, but it works. This one's a little light and a little pink for me, but I can kind of make it work. The Salt New York Sneaky Balm is the perfect shade for me. And that makes me realize that I maybe don't need to keep these. I think I'm not going to keep the Ilia. It always just felt like I was trying so hard to make it work because it has that combination of being really, really pale and kind of washing me out and then being kind of pink, and it's hard to counteract that. Now it's down to just these of what was in that box, and I have enough experience with them and I have gotten enough like great makeup looks with them and that I'm gonna keep those. I think I'll enjoy picking them back up again. The Colfi, I'm just so impressed by Colfi is the thing. This year, I've had so many good experiences with Colfi. I love concealer. I tend to just use the Refi concealers these days. I don't really remember how it went with this. So I'm just going to keep testing it essentially. I'm gonna put it with the Ciel, the stuff I'm testing rather than like fully keeping. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. This is what remains. This is what remains of that middle drawer. It is happening. I am doing it. I feel like Vini Vidi Vici is how I feel at this moment. And I actually feel kind of inspired to keep going because I'm so proud of myself. Look at this. This is what's left. Do you remember how it was before? Wild. This is great. So I'm actually going to switch these because here, this is the box of declutter stuff. I'm going to move it over into this blue box, which is bigger. Okay, voila, my new blush, highlight, and complexion collection, except for the things that are in my makeup bag, right? So most of what I use for blush and complexion is in my makeup bag. These are just a few other things that might be rotated in from time to time. And that is kind of what I was hoping to achieve today with this. So wow, I'm energized. Let me just check the time, but I think we can keep going. We actually can't keep going. I have to go pick up my kid from school. So I will be back tomorrow, but in this same video, to tackle the lip products, and I can't wait. Hey y'all, hi. All right, we're back. I mean, I'm back. You didn't go anywhere. No time has passed on your end. I went to sleep and woke up again and did a whole bunch of other things, and I'm back again to declutter the lip products. I'm just gonna remind myself of how yesterday went. This is what we got it down to. Of course, this is apart from my makeup bag in which most things reside now. And you know, I will go through that bag and weed it out, make it simpler, and put some things in drawers. But of the things that I was decluttering that weren't in the makeup bag, this is what remains. It's so wild and so wonderful. However, in stark contrast, here's what we're dealing with when it comes to lips. What is this doing here? Oh, this was the wrong color, the too dark color of the Skin Mimetic concealer from Make. I'm gonna just go ahead and declutter that. Okay, it's a lot. I'm rolling up my sleeves. It's a lot. I'm also recalling the getting myself together that I did yesterday by looking at what I have and what I've been using. So essentially to remind myself, I will now say out loud, on almost every day, I wear that Isamaya lip liner and one of my liquid lip balms, and I really love that look, or the Isamaya lip liner and one of the Salt New York colors, and I really, really love that look and those formulas. And I've been doing that for months, and I've been fine. Essentially, I could kind of do away with all of this, and I would still love the variety of lip looks that I have, and I would still be fine. However, lips, it's sort of my weak spot, like always has been. I really love lipstick. I really love lip color. I like a strong, bold lip. Sometimes I like a grungy lip, and I also feel like I'll be able to navigate a slightly larger collection of lip products in a way that I might not have been able to as easily navigate a bunch of eyeshadow palettes, a bunch of base products, the drawers that I just decluttered. So I'm kind of going to go easy on myself, partly as a way of, well, largely as a way of encouraging myself to make use of this part of my collection more, or what's going to remain after this. Because I think there is something to be said for broadening my horizons a little bit beyond just what I've been doing every single day for the past several months. Even just taking this stuff out has made me want to do that. However, it doesn't need to be this much. I mean, a lot can go from here, and I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to debulk this part of my collection. This is a Royal Scandal, my favorite discontinued Gucci lipstick, and I'm definitely going to keep this. Even if I don't think it's gone bad, it's pretty old, it smells fine. The effect of this on my lips is something that I can get with the Isamaya lip liner and the Salt New York products, right? It's like not necessarily the exact color, but part of why I loved this so much was that it had that desaturation, that truly kind of grungy gray, but it still worked on me. Like it still didn't look super unnatural. natural on me or doesn't. And now I have a whole plethora of ways to achieve that look with those Salt New York products. So it's no longer like something I'll cling to like a life raft. I'm happy having this around, right? Even if I don't wear it as much as I used to or wear it that often. And that's enough for me today. Let's do actually all the lip liners. I definitely don't need this many, especially since I love that one from Isamaya so much. These ones from Isam are really old, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter those. This one from Lancome is also really old, so I'm going to declutter that. I do really like this pale sort of grungy greige from Unearthly. It's really nice. It has sort of a yellow undertone. It does essentially the same as what the Isamaya one does, but it has sort of a yellow undertone that's harder for me to work with. So I'm just going to lean on the one that I've been using. This one's from NARS. It's called Spunk. And this one's from Soshi, and it's in the shade Speakeasy. And then this one from Exa is in the shade Bear Your Hopes. This Exa one is also pretty old. I think this Exa one can go, the Soshi one can go there, but well, it might be nice to keep like one My Lips But Better shade. This is that Rhode Peptide Lip Shape. It's in the shade Balance. That might actually be more the My Lips But Better shade, although it's looking a little orange. That's Merit Bespoke, and that's Merit Tabac, and those are gorgeous, but the Merit lip liners are a gel formula, so they don't have that, like, I feel like with something like this, a My Lips But Better sharpenable pencil that's really sticky and sturdy, I can line my lips, fill in the vermilion border, and it sort of stays all day. You know what I mean? It's like it makes my lips just look a little bit plumper and more defined, and it's a sturdier situation. I prefer the color of the one from Exa. It's like 3+ years old. It's definitely from before I gave birth. Oh, you know what though? There are some lip pencils that came in PR that are still in the testing box that I really like. I think they're from Sarah Creel. So I am not going to keep these. This really old Exa one, this one from Soshi, which is just a little bit too, it's just like too peach for me, just a little bit too of that sort of yellow pink. And I'm going to keep the ones from Merit because I really like that formula and those colors. This one from Rhode, I'm going to keep it for now. And I'm keeping this dark brown from NARS because that's really different than what else I have. This is looking so good though right here. But no, I think I'm good with just these 4 from the lip pencils for now. Okay, that actually helped me to look at everything from one category all at once. I'm going to do the same thing with glosses. Wow, yeah, there were a lot of glosses and balms mixed in, like more than there were bullet lips, actually. It's a huge category here, and because I am now such a devotee of liquid lip balms, I feel like most of these can frankly go and it'll be totally fine. I'm going to pull out the ones that I know that I want to keep. The Rhode liquid lip balm, I really love these. The only reason that these weren't in my makeup bag is just that I took them out at some point a couple months ago and I didn't know where they were. So now that I've rediscovered them exactly where they were supposed to be, but I just didn't know, I'm going to reincorporate them and they're just going to be in like pockets and purses and stuff going forward. So definitely keeping those. I really like the color of this NARS gloss. The shade is Smooth Talk. And frankly, with the life I lead and the way that my brain works, the fact that it's clear like this and I can see straight through to the color and it's so appealing will make me reach for it more often. This is the Refi liquid lip balm in the shade Sepia, another one that I really, really love. Really love. And again, I had just sort of taken this out of rotation to make room for other things, but I'm going to get it back in rotation. Auric Plush Ritual, definitely keeping this. In fact, I'm going to put it on right now. Amazing for dry lips. I have enjoyed this Kosas Lip Boost in the past. It's just a clear balm. Actually, I think I'm going to keep this. It's really thick and sticky and it's really stiff and hard to get out of the bullet, but I like the way that it coats my lips. It's like a weird, not totally successful formula. I feel I do like it, and I think I'll use it up. This is pretty much empty. There are 4. Oh no, this isn't Forget the Filler. There are 3 tubes of Lawless Forget the Filler. They're plumping glosses, right? And you know, this Gucci gloss is also a pretty intense plumping gloss. Are there any others here? Is this some Isamaya mascara? Yeah, this is in the wrong place. Oh, obviously this City Lips is a plumping gloss. So I only need one plumping gloss. It's a nice thing to have around just if I really want to give my lips a boost, if they're feeling really scrunched up and I'm about to put on makeup and like go out or film or something. It's a nice thing to have around. This one is empty. The Gucci one is like really intense and pigmented, although I usually then just wipe it off. This one has opaque pigment in it and I really don't like how it looks. This one's in a box so I can, give it to someone, which is really nice. I'm going to not keep that one. So it's between the sheer red, forget the filler, and this sort of like sheer burgundy Gucci. I'm gonna keep the Gucci. Okay, this Isamaya mascara, which I remember totally unimpressed me, is in the wrong place. I'm decluttering it. These little, I at one point bought like a set of these little Summer Fridays lip balms and then I ended up regretting it. It's so little and they're just like all dinky and they get separated and I never enjoy using them. So I'm not gonna keep that. This Typology balm is decent, but I have so many lip balms that I prefer. What's this? It's like the RMS lip gloss in Crystal Slipper. I never bonded with that. And I also never bonded with this Peach and Lily Collagen Cushion Peptide Lip Balm. I did really bond with this Iris and Romeo lip balm. I actually really love this. I keep this. It's not my favorite delivery mechanism, right? I prefer like a squeezy tube, but I'm gonna hang on to this for a while. I have very fond memories of it. This like thick pigmented mauve gloss, I don't ever feel glad that I decided to give it a try. Like this type of thing, right? I like this brand. It's just this type of thing doesn't integrate well into my makeup day. However, this Juvia's Place gloss is kind of a similar idea, right? It's pigmented. It's not as thick though. You can even see it right there, right? It's much thinner. I remember really loving the way that this looks on me, but that was before the Salt New York collab. And now I feel like I can get this effect with other things. And this has a strong coffee scent and I just always wish it didn't. And this is also really old. It's a couple years old. So that's going to be why I let that go. That has made it through a lot of declutters because I like the color so much. But it's one of the reasons I wanted to create my own colors was so I could have that in a formula that I really like. I actually really like the formula of this plumping lip oil from Tarte, but I don't like this sponge tip. It's like really wiggly and weak and kind of grosses me out after a while. I'm not going to keep that. I wish it was in a different type of component. This Kier Weiss gloss is really lovely, very unusual pale color. I actually don't really remember how it is to wear this. Do you think that means I should keep it or not keep it? I'm going to put it on. It's weird. It looks like very pale and very pink on me. Weirdly pink, given that it's so pale. I am not falling for it right now. I mean, it's not really alluring me right now. I love the brand. The formula is really great. The color is really interesting. I think even just a couple of years ago, I would have been so into wearing this like all the time because it's giving me that like slightly pink tinged, super washed out nude lip. That's also really nourishing and natural. I'm kind of talking myself into it. I'm gonna keep it around for a little while. Stay tuned on that one. These are the ones I'm tempted to keep. No, I remember this is like too thick and goopy for my liking. I was so excited about it and then I didn't end up liking it very much. Not keeping it. The Merit lip glazes, I always like them so much. Oh wait, I always like them so much, but I'm just, these days I'm so much more prone to reach for a liquid gloss in a tube and that's essentially what this is. I don't think I'll miss these, even though they're so nice. These are the ones with the new colors with a little bit of shimmer in them, but I don't think I'll miss them. And they look a little bit like they might have been pH adjusting, which is my nemesis. Isamaya Black Veil. This is the new Black Veil from the most recent Sephora launch. I'm keeping it. We did some damage, right? But it's still a pretty robust collection. It's kind of just what I predicted. This is where we're at so far, right? The things that I've kept so far before digging deep into the bullet lipsticks. But I feel good about it. Love a lip. Okay, these are all the bullets and lip colors. We're just gonna go one by one. Merit. So I do not like the matte Merit formula as much as I like the original. And I don't think there are any colors in the matte formula. Oh, except Vermilion. Of the matte Merit lipsticks, Vermilion, which is an extraordinary super balanced red, that like watery red that looks amazing on everyone, is the only one that I really love and want to keep. The rest can go. However, the original formula Merit lipsticks, even though I haven't been wearing them lately because all I wear is my Salt New York collab, I am not prepared to just declutter them all because they're so good. But I think that Tiger is missing. Or I might have already decluttered it because it was so old and it was so messed up. But Merit, in a PR package a while ago, included a new one that's just currently in my basket of PR that I am still testing, or that I haven't gotten into testing on camera yet. I know that there's a replacement for Tiger in there, and I think there's a replacement. Oh no, maybe this is the replacement for 1990. Maybe I already opened it because this looks like it's in great shape. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep Vermilion. Let me see if I can find those. Well, I want to say there's a replacement for Baby in there too. I don't think I need to keep L'Avenue, this one right here, because if I want this look, I can easily get it from some of the Salt New York shades, like the deeper shades, and I'll like it even better because it'll be more neutral. So I'm not going to keep that one. And honestly, I kind of feel the same about Baby. This is just, the vibe is like Old Gum, Waxwing, but I like Old Gum better, and I like Waxwing better than I like the way that this looks on me. It just leans a little bit pinker. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. If there's a replacement for it in my PR box, I might try it. I might try it again or keep it, but actually I think probably not. I would actually rather wear my Salt colors than Baby. But Aperitif, which is, I believe, the matte version of Vermilion. It was limited edition, and then I think they like came out with Vermilion. It's like the same color. Yeah, it's the same, right? Aperitif was limited edition, but it's just like the original formula, but I believe the same color as Vermilion. I love that red. And then Cabo is like, it's like a slightly brickier red, like a more brick red. And the thing is, in my Salt collab, I don't have a red, right? So these reds, it makes total sense for me to keep them. Cabo, Vermilion, Aperitif, and then 1990, which is this lovely brown, and Tiger, which is like a rust. I have it somewhere. I'm gonna keep those. So that's my reduced lipstick collection. Let's look at the other reds that might be on the chopping block. Lisa Eldridge Velvet Dragon is so iconic. I am going to keep it. It's pretty old, but it's just, you know, it's the perfect super deep matte, velvety matte, perfect for my very pale olive complexion, and also just has a lot of character. I really love that. This is a beautiful Gucci lipstick. It's Janet Rust. It's been hard to let go because it was a gift and because it's Gucci, but I just always wear Velvet Dragon, right? If I'm ever gonna wear a lip that's like this, like a super matte, rich red, it's going to be Velvet Dragon. So even though this is so beautiful, I think I'm okay with letting it go just for the sake of not having too much, right? Not keeping too much. This is another super iconic piece of makeup. I absolutely love this. It's also by Rouge, and it's like these lip powders, really, really great. And I love the effect of them. But the colors are super bright. And if I'm going to wear a red, it's going to be one of these other reds. So I've kept this for a long time. I really like this product. I really like the idea of it. And I just know that I'm not going to get any more use out of it. This is kind of a similar situation. This is that Farrah Homidi lip. This is a great color though, but not really, not in practice. I just put it on, it goes orange on me. This is, again, this is like why I created my own colors, right? It just goes super warm on me, even though it looks like such a beautiful nude. So I am not gonna keep that, even though it's such a pretty thing and it's so tempting. Okay, this is that Ulta lipstick that I really love. The shade is Dusty Mauve. But it's definitely gone bad. So I came across this when I was trying to find a dupe for Gone Greige, and it's a great lipstick, but it's expired. Here are a couple of Sarah Creel lips that came in PR. I haven't even swatched them, I don't think. Oh no, maybe I have. Oh, that's nice. Although I do think that that would also go kind of warm on me. I'm not gonna keep that, but this one's even more interesting. I also think that that would probably go quite peach on me. I love that it's this pale, but again, my Salt colors are gonna give me what neither of these does, which is like a slightly cool toned greige version of this type of thing. Really pretty and interesting though. This Sochi lip, I really liked the way that my lips looked when I tested this on camera. And so I kept it and then never wore it again because it doesn't make a case for itself when there's so much else in my lipstick drawer. So I'm not gonna keep that. BK Beauty Grace, a lovely neutral lip, really pretty. But again, in the context of what I have now, which is Old Gum, Gone Greige, it's hard to imagine using this enough to justify keeping it. This is Queen Musia Tinted Hydro Balm in 1993. It's a good color, but you know, it's a tinted balm, and I have so many tinted balms in that liquid format in the squeezy tube, which I much prefer and which I'll be more likely to use. Same is true of this, the Isamaya Black Veil in a Stick. I would rather use a liquid balm. Phytosurgence Distant Depths. I'm obsessed with the new colors from Phytosurgence and the formula of this balm. I'm definitely going to keep this one. And I have a couple of others floating around. I don't know where they are, but I use them pretty frequently. I love the way that they feel on the lips. You can see that kind of cool toned brown coming through and how it's not over pigmented. Really amazing formula. The Calm Conditions Lip Balm from Phytosurgence. However, this one from Finding Ferdinand, this purple, I don't know why I kept this originally. I think just the novelty. I definitely don't need that. This Mini Jones Road Miracle Balm, I don't know what that's doing in there. I'm not going to keep that. Oh yeah, this amazing Juvia's Place. This is a sugar cookie plumping lip gloss. This is a great color. This is so great. It's giving like Salt New York x Hannah Louise Poston vibes. It's so great. And I really love how plumping and glossy the formula is. But this is quite old. Like I've had this for a long time. And the combination of the fact that it's quite old and that it's so goopy kind of grosses me out. So I'm not going to keep that. And then this Makeup Forever Artist Color Crayon. This color, I got 2 colors from this and used them in a review. This one, this sort of like pale tan, it goes orange on the cheeks and lips for me, and it's not as useful as the other one that I got, which is somewhere and I don't know where. The other one that I got is like a more of a greige and has a little purple in it, like more cool toned. That one I do sometimes grab, or I used to. Again, before I had created my own colors, I used to grab that and mix it into cheek and lip products to make them more cool toned, to kind of tone them down. I might keep it around just for old time's sake, but this one I'm not going to keep around. This shade is 4LO2, and the other shade, you'll know what it is. It's the other one that's really pale, but just a lot more cool toned, a lot more purple than this. Okay, that's it. We did it. And you know what? Looking at this grouping again, I think I can let go of the Kurt Weiss. I can't see myself choosing it instead of one of these liquid balms. For example, like Road Toast. So of what was in that drawer, these are the treatment balms and tinted liquid lip balms. These are the glosses that I'm keeping. This is also a tinted balm. These are the lip liners, and then these are the bullet lipsticks. This is fantastic. What I am going to do now is get my makeup bag back out and kind of go through it and do a kind of shop my stash at this moment. Like I'm going to put most of what's in my makeup bag away in its proper bin, along with what I just kept from my declutter. And I'm going to select a much smaller, more edited makeup bag to use in the coming weeks. I know this video is already really long, but I just started filming today. Like I'm fresh as a daisy. All I've done is the lips so far. So I feel like I can take it a step further. Before we do that though, this is the box of decluttered stuff. I'm not going to take it all out and show it to you, but you can see, you can get a sense. I have decluttered way more than I've kept, I believe. And that is how it had to be. That is what I had hoped would happen. So this is great. Okay, so for lip products from my current makeup bag, what can we put away, right? Let's see what we have. So this is what I've been using, the Isamaya lip liner and the liquid balms and the NARS lipstick. I'm gonna put them all away. Actually, let's just put everything away and then I'll like shop my stash. Start over again and shop my stash. It'll be so great. That's what I'm gonna do. Complexion. This is concealer, powder, foundation, blush, etc. Okay, and eye makeup. And I decided to group brow products with eye makeup because the complexion box was kind of full. I used this yesterday, the Kurt Weiss tinted brow gel, and I really didn't like it. So I'm gonna declutter this. Okay, this is so exciting. I'm gonna shop my stash. starting with complexion. And I just want to point out that we are here beholding my entire makeup collection now. So these are the 3 drawers, right? But with everything put away, including what was in my makeup bag, eye makeup, complexion, and lips. Of course, there are some things scattered around. There's some stuff that came in PR that I'm still testing, but this is the core of it. This is the gist. And I might not need all 3 drawers in the vanity anymore. I might be able to kind of rethink what I store in those drawers if I'm able to keep my makeup collection down to this size. So starting with complexion, I'm going to resuscitate the Exa color corrector. I'm going to keep using the Lisa Eldridge skin tint. I think, oh, this is so fun. I think I might bring out Auric Glow Lust for a while. And I'll keep the Jillian Dempsey Mixturizer in the mix because it has a slightly mattifying effect if my skin's getting too glossy with skin prep. So it'll help balance the glow lust. Instead of getting the Refi concealers out, I'm just going to keep testing the new color of the Skin Mimetic Concealer from Make. If I get frustrated that everything's a little bit too deep, like a shade too deep, I'll know where to find the Refi concealer. Actually, you know, I might need to keep the lighter one, 01, out to lighten up like high points of my face if things get too deep with these other complexion products. I'll be glad to have that. The Make powder, the Gucci bronzer. And then I think for cheeks, I'm just going to take my Salt Quad, the lightest quad, and I'm going to leave the other 2 quads in here. Essentially, they're mostly lip products for me, the medium and deep quads. So I'm going to put them actually with the lips, but I'm going to leave them in here to try to encourage myself to expand my repertoire with lips. Speaking of, let's talk about lips. I'm going to choose different things than what I have had out. This NARS lip liner, which is dark. It's like that mahogany color. Road Espresso. The Gucci lip plumper. I'm going to try to do some, I've actually been enjoying like a pretty plain, simple face with a strong and grungy lip lately. But I think I'm going to take out Distant Depths from Phytosurgeons. I know myself right now, and I know that if I don't take it out now, I'm going to be digging into my drawer for this Isamea lip liner like tomorrow. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it out, being honest with you all, not gatekeeping. And this NARS gloss, which is really alluring to me right now. Wow. Oh, you know what else I might like? I might mess with a Royal Scandal a little bit this week and see how it makes me feel in my heart and soul. All right, we're left with eyes. I haven't been doing that much lately, clearly. And I'm going to leave the Dior palette put away because I've been leaning on it too much. Let's do brows really quickly. I think I can just pick one brow pencil. I'm going to dye my brows probably too tonight. So let's go with, oh, you know what? I've been really enjoying this brow pencil from Make. It's amazing. So we'll do the brow pencil from Make, the Refi gel, and that'll be good. I'm going to keep my Kulfi mascara and the new $19.99 for lashes. And then let us do something quite different for lids. Although I do want to still have the capacity to have that kind of grungy, smudgy outer corner. Sometimes I've been leaning into the like aging Italian movie star lids lately, and I've been using the Dior palette for that a lot. So what can I take out? This really interested me when I was going through this weird shade Nelson. So I'm gonna get that out, and also the YSL. Although if I do that, I feel like I need something sheer. I'm gonna take out the Gucci gloss, see if I can bond with it as an eye gloss. I'm actually not gonna take this cream shadow out. It seems like a lot right now. Just Diamond Dog, and yeah, just Diamond Dog and Explosive Brown from YSL. Now, I've put all of this back in this makeup bag because the studio is currently in total chaos and I'm doing my makeup on the fly. I'm like carrying this bag around the house using the bathroom mirror, the bedroom mirror, etc., depending on the day. But once it gets all set up, I'll be able to keep my makeup that's in play at any given time on top of my vanity in a little box. And it won't need to be so slipshod and haphazard, and it'll be like it used to be before we moved, which humiliatingly was like a year and a half ago, and we just haven't gotten it together. But we're almost there, and I'm feeling so glad that I did this. So pleased with the results, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for coming along for the ride. If you are asleep, I hope you're sleeping soundly, and don't forget to take care of yourself.